Um, Hello everyone. Previously, we had discussed about the JavaScript functional reactive programming using RxJS, right? So today we'll be discussing about the advanced object cloning and serialization. So this is going to be the last topic in this playlist, right? So we have discussed around 100 concepts in the JavaScript, basically. So next, I am thinking of doing the same thing with the TypeScript, right? I am thinking of discussing on the TypeScript concepts for now. I think this is the last concept that we'll be discussing on in the JavaScript. So after some time, I'll just take a break for some time, and after this, let's discuss the TypeScript um, concepts, right? So uh, let's discuss on the this one, advanced object cloning and the serialization. As I have said, this will be the last topic in this playlist. I mean, advanced JavaScript concepts. So deep cloning and the serialization ensure accurate data duplication or the storage. Again, I'm telling, deep cloning and the serialization ensure accurate data duplication or the storage, especially for complex objects with nested properties, right? So one simple example that we'll be considering first is deep cloning with a structured clone, right? So I'll just quickly come here. Let me consider, let object nothing but obj here within the flower braces. I'll just consider name Bharadwaj, and let me consider details within details. Let's go for the nested object. So within this one, details country, let me give here India, right? So after this, let me make use of the clone variable name, and let's go with the structured clone. As I have said, deep cloning using the structured clone, right? I'll just go with the structured clone here of, let me pass the obj, what I've considered, right? I have considered obj. So then let me give here clone dot details dot age here. Let me set the age to 30. So also let's log something here. Let me quickly log object details I have considered, right? Yeah, details country within the country I have given India. So details dot country. This is one thing. We have to get the output. This one, basically India. And also let me log one more thing just for the reference. So I'll just give here cloned dot details dot country here. So again, what should I get now? Here, this time I'll just give here age. Or let me do one thing. Let me consider, instead of the country, let me consider age here. I'll just give here 25 and or 26, anything. You can just consider anything. Here, let me keep this one to 30 itself. So this one also, let me consider this one to, let me change this one to age, right? So if I try running the code, I have to get the output 26 and 30, right? So we are getting the same correct output. So what we have done here, I will quickly explain what I've done here. So structured clone, what I have made use of here, this one, structured clone, it creates a deep copy of the object. This creates a deep copy of the object obj, this one, right? And also this one, changes in the clone doesn't affect the original, nothing but the immutable original, right? So changes in the clone doesn't affect the original. Again, I'm telling, changes in the clone doesn't affect the original. And also structured clone, this one, in simple terms, it creates a deep copy of the object, as we know. So the output that we are getting 26 and 30 is completely correct. So let me clear this one quickly, and let's go with the second example. Nothing but serialization with JSON, right? I'll quickly consider obj. Just name here. Let me give Bharadwaj, and also let's consider date, and let me give here new date here. Date is function, right? So this one has to be capital D. This is fine. Let me come out of this and quickly make use of the variable name serialized, and let's give here JSON dot stringify of object, right? Obj. Hope this is clear. Next, what I'll do, I'll just give here same thing. Let me copy here. Let me make use of the variable name deserialized, right? So here I'll just give here JSON dot parse. Let's make use of the parse, right? Let me pass the serialized here. So if I let me log serialize and deserialized here. Let's see what output we will get. So here, let me give here serialized, and quickly let me log the deserialized as well. So if I try to log this one serialized here, we have to get the name Bharadwaj, right? And date, today's date, along with the time. So name, I need to get Bharadwaj, as I've given here name Bharadwaj, right? So this one name Bharadwaj, and date I have to get today's date along with the time. And this one I have logged deserialized as well. So what we are giving here, we are passing the this one, right? We have passed a serialized by making use of JSON.parse. So the output that we need to get here is ISO string of the date. Let's try running the code. Let's see what we'll get. Yeah, here clearly you can see name Bharadwaj and date we are getting here, this one. And deserialized, as I have said, we have to get the ISO string of the date, right? So here we are getting the same thing. And one more thing. Yeah, that's fine. No worries. So here, I'm thinking a name we are getting in the strings here. This one is lost here basically. So this is fine. Date also. So yeah, I'll quickly explain what I've done here. So JSON.stringify, whatever I'm using here, this one, it converts the object to the JSON string. We know that stringify basically converts the object to the JSON string. And what is JSON.parse doing here? Basically, JSON.parse, this one restores it, but it loses the date objects as strings, right? So it will lose the date object as strings, right? We can clearly see here. This will it will restore it while I give the while I log the deserialized. This will basically restore it, but it will lose the date object as strings. We can clearly see in the example here, right? So I hope the concept of this one, serialization with the JSON and the deep cloning with the structured clone, is completely clear. Nothing but we saw the concept of advanced object cloning and serialization with the very simple examples. So as I have said, this is going to be the last topic in this playlist, advanced object cloning and serialization. Next, after I'll just take some break and let's discuss on the TypeScript concepts, right? So for now, this is it. Thanks for watching, guys.